Only 7 of the 54 countries in Africa have begun vaccine rollouts. Officials on the continent say they're already behind, but they risk falling further if they can't make progress soon. The head of Africa's CDC says the ease of logistics with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine will be crucial to that effort.
When given one dose, it provides a unique and remarkable opportunity to roll out the vaccination as well. I mean, in terms of refrigeration, it offers a very attractive vaccine to roll out into the remote areas. So we remain encouraged with what we are seeing with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Investec CEO Fani Titi joins us live now. Fani, thank you so much for being with us. Economies in Africa are clearly already suffering because of COVID-19. The economies of sub-Saharan Africa are expected to shrink by 3.3%. We know that South Africa's economy is expected not to be back to normal until 2025. So how much does the slow vaccine rollout we're seeing across the continent really slow the path to a full economic recovery?
I mean, clearly the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine is a hopeful moment for South Africa. The rollout will take quite a long time, but at least we can see the end of the pandemic in the next, say, 6, 9, 12 months. And the continent as a whole is well behind the curve with respect to the vaccine. And the economy will not recover or rebuild unless the health problem has been resolved. So it is absolutely important that countries on the continent get onto the bandwagon of the vaccine.
We've talked a lot on this show and really across all news organizations around the world, all international news organizations, about the fact that, you know, this vaccine rollout really highlights the haves and the have-nots on the global economic stage. Obviously, in terms of Europe and the United States, there is a much faster access to vaccine than you have in Africa. A lot of people talking about the fact that that would worsen economic inequality globally. However, there's also the issue of economic inequality within Africa itself. A lot of African countries are extremely unequal. So how much is the vaccine rollout, it perhaps going to the wealthier Africans as opposed to those who are poorer first? How much does that bother you in terms of worsening income inequality within the continent?
Look, the vaccine rollout has to be done on an equitable basis. You've talked about the fact that richer nations have the resources and they have secured the supply, and poorer nations, in particular African nations, are not anywhere close to the top of the queue, as it were. And intra-Africa, the same phenomenon does apply. We are in a very big storm, but we are not in the same boat, as it were. So inequality deepens particularly significantly. If you think, as an example, about access to education, those who have resources are more able to continue to learn online and remotely, whereas poorer communities are not able to do so. So the impact and effects of the pandemic will be much deeper and much more long-lasting on poorer communities.
And when it comes to the lockdowns, I mean, you can talk about South Africa specifically since that's where you're based, but you know, just in terms of a full, tangible, real, permanent recovery to the South African labor market, when can we expect to see that? Obviously, you know, the Johnson & Johnson rollout in terms of that vaccine is just beginning, so obviously it's going to take time. But if you could look into your crystal ball, when do you think the labor market will be back to normal in your country?
Look, the year to the end of 2020, we saw a contraction in the economy of approximately 7.3%. We expect the economy to recover by about 3% this year. So in our estimation, only around 2024 will economic activity be to the pre-COVID levels. We've lost about 2 million jobs during the first lockdown. So our expectation will be that it'll take 3 to 4 years to recover to pre-COVID levels. And obviously, the lower skilled levels in the economy will be affected much more drastically than the higher skilled jobs. So it is going to be quite a long haul.
Fani, Titi, live for us there. Thank you so much.